I strictly believe that this is maybe the most important thing. Not that the previous points, as I said before, are not important, but this is something which is overlooked so often. Communicate clearly and demonstrate that you have the soft skills. Let's talk about interview process. Especially if you are after school or you never did it before, it might feel very difficult. It might be very frightening, like you really don't know what to do. So let's take a look. For the beginning, let me clarify that I'm not an HR person. I don't have any HR training, so whatever I'm going to tell you is based on my experience. Of course, experience being interviewed, but also being an interviewee. I'm going to try to be not so specific, just some general things what you can apply maybe anywhere in IT, but probably it will be tailored to software developers because this is what I'm most familiar with. The following points are not necessarily ordered based on priority, more like based on a timeline. So it doesn't mean that the point 5 is more important than point 1. For a start, research the company and prepare clear and catchy CV. And it might already sound pretty weird to you. Why I'm even mentioning that you should research the company. Guys, that's... Be absolutely sure that you know where are you applying to. Especially if you applied to several companies, be absolutely sure that you know where do you have the interview right now. I mean 100% sure. There might be companies with similar names. Even when it comes to address, there might be address which is very similar to the address of your company. But in fact, it might be opposite part of the city, so you can be late. Simply, be sure that you know the company you are applying to. Be sure that you are in the good place. And if you want to talk about some products, just, again, be 100% sure that these products are of the company you're applying to. It's a huge red flag. You are really not even sure, or you are giving us an impression that you don't know where you are and why. And obviously the CV is strictly related to it. Your first foot in the door, don't overdo it. Like 1 page, up to 2 pages, it's absolutely fine, that's enough. And don't stress about the length, because especially if you are after school, you don't have experience, we understand that it's like obvious that your CV is not that long or even that interesting. That's absolutely fine, that's alright, don't stress about it. Some things what CV should have, you should probably check based on your country or maybe even the company, but there are discussions about the photos. To me, it was always important to have a CV which looks beautiful, aesthetic and catchy. And the photo is a thing which can help. It's not that we are going to decide based on your face. That would be pretty stupid of us. To me, it's just add more colors to the page and it simply looks nice. But definitely, if you are able to create aesthetic CV, what you will really like, I don't think that photo is mandatory by any means. I will also slightly touch this prejudice, what you might think that someone has. You are applying to a very specific field. There are not enough people to fill up all the positions. And not even there. Like when I was with the university, we were trying really hard to find a mathematician who is able to write the code and in the same time is focused on computer graphics. I guess you can imagine that we didn't exactly have tons of applicants. Don't even give a chance to someone who doesn't look a certain way to us. That's actually not how it works. Don't worry about it. So, CV, make it beautiful, aesthetic, make it short, and also what you can do is absolutely fine. Just tailor the CV to the specific offer. So if you are applying to, let's say, game dev company, you want to be game developer, just keep things which are related to game dev. It's way better if you make one related page than 10 pages of some random information about HR, or we should like really read through and understand what is happening. So keep it short, keep it cool. What is very important is to prepare your projects and the past experience. Really, first thing what I'm checking when there is a new CV in my hands is GitHub link or anything like that. I just want to see what you do in your free time or what you did during your studies. Have GitHub. Have your project set up there. Make the page beautiful. Just a bunch of source code without any README file, without the screenshots. That's not very appealing. And this is really the first thing what might get you invited for an interview. If I see a person with plenty of projects or even few of them, but crafted with very high quality, I will love it. That's that's what we are going after. So don't hesitate to put on your public repo everything you did, even including school projects. It's fine. That's actually very good. What is a huge red flag in this point? When someone's applying for the software developer, let's say even senior software developer, and he or she doesn't have any portfolio. That's simply weird. That's no how it usually works. Be sure that you communicate these things very clearly. You can write them down to the CV, but really link to the source code where we can check it by ourselves. That's perfect choice. So one more time, it's a huge red flag if you are applying but don't have anything to show. Portfolio is very important. Do not underestimate it. You really need it. You really need it. Now, a little bit of practice. Don't forget to practice coding exercises and some technical questions. Do not assume that you will automatically succeed just because you are a good developer or because you have experience from school or from your personal life. You must understand that the questions we are asking during interviews are not necessarily the practical ones. If I'm going to tell you, please write me implementation of bubble sort, you are going to use library in your real life. Or if you really need to do it for some reason, well, you will check Stack Overflow. These are very specific type of questions where we are not even necessarily interested in the answer, but in the way how you approach it. If you don't know how to do it, that's fine, that's perfect. We are going to watch how you do it, how you think about it. But be ready for that. If you are not familiar with these types of questions, just check internet. I'm not going to link anything here because I really don't want to recommend anything specific, but just take a look. You should be obviously familiar with the things. If you are applying for, let's say, C++ developer, what the C++ is, how it works, what is object-oriented programming, these things. But really when it comes to practical example, like, I don't know, write a software which can detect palindrome, really. This is not something that you are going to do in real life, but during the interview, you should expect that. Take a look in advance how these questions, how these exercises look like, so you are not going to be shocked. You should also review the fundamental techniques and technologies. We most likely will ask you about some basic data structures, about some algorithms. What is an array, how it's implemented, what is a list, what is a stack, what is a heap. If you have some formal education in computer science, this shouldn't be super difficult to you because you had it a million times. But if you don't, grab a book and take a look in advance. This is not super difficult, but a problem with these things are that if you don't know them, you probably cannot figure them out on the spot. You really cannot make any deduction about it. Simply, you know it or you don't know it. It's better if you know them. Point 5. I strictly believe that this is maybe the most important thing. Not that the previous points, as I said before, are not important, but this is something which is overlooked so often. Communicate clearly and demonstrate that you have the soft skills. Simply don't stress much about your technical gaps. It's not such a big deal. If during the interview you cannot remember what is the quad tree, how to implement it, what is it good for, but in the same time you came up as very nice person, very friendly person, that's perfect. It's not a problem at all. There is an important thing to say, and you should never forget it. It is relatively easy to teach passionate and generally curious person a technical skill. But it's very difficult to teach adult person how to be a better person. I can easily teach you technical skills, but teach you how to be a team player, how to don't be rude, how to be just relaxed, easygoing person, that takes so much time. And obviously you should even want it, that I'm probably not going for it. If I have 2 candidates, one of them has amazing technical skills, very senior, but really doesn't feel as a good addition to the team. And in the other hand, I have a guy with few gaps, but we have fun together. I can easily see him with my team with a great mood and also eager to learn. 10 out of the 10, I'm going for this guy. Always. You should be able to evaluate yourself from the technical perspective. Like, there is a level which is just enough. You are going to grow in the company. But I would strongly recommend to check also your soft skills. You can take course or just check some YouTube videos about the body language, how to talk, what to say, how to control your voice. and even emotions. It might help you greatly. I might even tell you, if you are failing interviews, this might be the root cause. You might be great in technical skill, but simply your personality doesn't shine in such a good way as you would probably like to. So, if I'm asking the quote 3 again, and the person told me, I'm very sorry, I cannot realize right now what quote 3 exactly is, I will definitely learn it as fast as I can. And the second guy would tell me something like, quote 3? Why are you asking me about quote 3? That's such a basic thing. Like, really? That's what you do here, guys? Quote 3? Why are you even asking me that? Like, you don't know how to do quote 3, or you don't have anyone in your team who knows how to do quote 3 that you ask me as a newcomer to do it for you? I can guarantee that the guy number 2 is not going to be part of my team. I guess these are the most important things. I'm going to prepare part 2, what you as an applicant should ask during the interview, and what are the red flags from your perspective. Because some companies are just trying to lure people in, but maybe you should avoid them. So let's conclude, let's wrap it up. You need to research the company, prepare cool, catchy CV tailored for the position you are asking for. You should prepare your portfolio, put it on some public space, easily accessible, such as GitHub. Put your school projects, your free time projects. We are interested in everything. Practice coding, check what type of questions are asked during the interview when it comes to this, what type of exercises we might be interested in. Review the fundamentals for your position. You can ask GPT or whatever, what are the basics of the field. Definitely you can Google it. And do not underestimate soft skills. That will be all for today. Thanks you for watching. Good luck with your application, and we are going to see each other next time.